Hey y'all, welcome back to Fur and Feathers. So I've had to change my YouTube channel name because Fur and Feathers Farm has been stolen by someone and I don't know where they are or who they are or anything. So we're no longer Fur and Feathers Farm, we're now Fur and Feathers Homestead. So if you're looking me up on YouTube and trying to find my channel, it's Fur and Feathers Homestead now. So today we're going to take a walk back to the barn and I'm going to introduce you to one of my producers and show you kind of what we're dealing with right now. Thought I would see my assistant, but my assistant, yeah, here he comes. Come here. Come here, Ziggy. We'll show you my assistant, Ziggy. Hey, Ziggy. Hey, buddy. Tell everybody hello. Say hello, Ziggy. Ziggy says, I've already said hello to you once. Not saying it again. This is Ziggy. So he's one of my barn cats. He's a rescue. And as you tell, he's getting very well fed. He does eat cat food along with mice. And so he stays at the barn most of the time. And he's my assistant back here at the quail pen. So right now I've got about 150 quail or so, and they're producing eggs daily. These quail were hatched out somewhere around Easter, maybe a little bit after that, and so they are several months old. So I'm going to show you my quail. So these are Cortinix quail, and they are hard to tell between the male and the female. The males make noises. They make a noise, and the females don't make any noise. And right now, of course, they're not making any noise because I wanted them to. And as you can tell, I need to collect some eggs. We've got plenty of eggs in here. I did not collect last night because I wanted to make sure that I did have enough to show you this morning. Okay, so this little fella right here is a male, and the reason that I know that is, number one, he's got feathers all over his back. That one is also a male. The females are missing some feathers on their backs, as you can tell through the wire there. See where some of their feathers are missing? That's the females. I try to keep 1 or 2 males per cage just so we can keep the process going of fertilizing the eggs and hatching the quail, and so forth. So quail, just like chickens, they lay 1 egg a day. Sometimes actually they can lay 2 eggs a day, but not likely. Chicken will not lay any more than 1 egg a day. Most of the quail won't lay more than 1 egg a day either. So yes, you can tell how I've got my setup here. I've got a trough in here and put feed in it, and they stick their heads through and they eat and don't make a mess with the feed. And of course, nobody's eating feed right now. So you can't really, oh, there we go. He's sticking his head through. He's like, yep, I'm suffering. Yeah, right. So let me show you kind of what the quail eggs look like. So they're smaller than the chicken egg, naturally. But these are jumbo quail. So these eggs are a little bit bigger than regular quail eggs. And of course they've got the spots on them showing you that they are the Cortinix quail. And so these are a little bit bigger than the regular Cortinix quail. These are the jumbo quail. And it takes them 6 weeks to grow to full adulthood, and they start laying at 6 weeks old. So it's very important to give them all the nutrition that they can get within those 6 weeks. There, they're starting to eat within those 6 weeks, so that they're healthy. You don't want fragile birds trying to lay eggs because they don't last very long. Plus I like the healthier, plumper birds because we do cull them and eat them. Quail is very good for you. And their eggs, in turn, are very good for you, and we'll kind of go over that. There he's eating. So they stick their head through and get what they need, and they don't make a mess with the feed. So anyway, I've got these cages here, and then I've got 2 more cages that are full of quail. So I wanted to show you kind of where they start with the production. And I do raise my own quail. I grab the eggs. They are all fertile, and I put them in the incubator and hatch them. And I think they're 17 days to hatch, and then 6 weeks to grow full growth before they start laying. So they grow very fast. They're very economic because they don't require feed for a year to get them to full grown scale. So 6 weeks is max. I got all the kitties following me. So, and maybe you can meet my new kitty. We've got a new kitty, like we needed one more cat on the place. But this new kitty is another rescue because I found her on the side of the road. And I was grabbing a jar here, sorry. We're gonna go in the house and I'm gonna show you what I'm doing with all these eggs. And maybe you can meet the new kitty. All right. I don't see her. Maybe she'll come around. So right now I've got about 500 eggs in the refrigerator, and trying to figure out what to do with all of these eggs is getting challenging because, well, I don't want to pickle 500 eggs every 3 days. So we're eating eggs. I've got a bunch of eggs here that I've been cracking this morning. So we eat these eggs and like you do regular chicken eggs. And anyway, I've been cracking them this morning, and I'm going to dehydrate some, and I'm going to show you how to dehydrate those. So I wanted to let you know kind of what the quail eggs nutrition facts are. I'm not trying to sell anybody on quail eggs, trust me. I'm not saying go out and get a bunch of quail, raise a quail, get the eggs, because these eggs are wonderful, wonderful eggs over chicken eggs. They're not wonderful, wonderful eggs over chicken eggs. They do have a few nutritional values that chicken eggs do not have, but not everybody can raise quail and have a place to raise them and deal with all that. So I was looking online. I looked on WebMD to see what the greatest thing about quail eggs are, and just a few things. They're rich in protein. Well, all eggs are rich in protein. Okay, they either are very high in protein or average. They reduce the risk of anemia, low hemoglobin. Well, so does a chicken egg. Okay. One of the most important things here is they balance. I'm looking on my computer while I'm looking here. They balance your cholesterol. So a chicken egg has cholesterol, and a quail egg has cholesterol. A chicken egg, they always say if you have high cholesterol, lay off of the eggs because it's high in cholesterol. Well, the quail eggs, they are high in cholesterol as well, but they're high in good cholesterol. So they raise your HDL. Anybody that knows anything about cholesterol? So you have your HDL and your LDL. So your HDL, I always think of happy. So that's your good cholesterol. Your LDL is loser cholesterol, so that's your bad cholesterol. Okay, so your quail eggs are high in good cholesterol, which means that the more good cholesterol you have, the less bad cholesterol you have. So that's one of the good benefits is about your quail eggs. Is another good benefit is they lower or they stabilize your blood sugars. So if you're diabetic, quail eggs are good for your diabetes. They cleanse the body. They boost your immunity. Well, I think chicken eggs do the same thing. One thing that I did not see on the chicken eggs versus the quail eggs is they treat allergies. I don't know. I don't have allergies, so I don't know. But if you have a bunch of seasonal allergies, eat a couple of eggs from the quail and your rhinitis will go away. I don't know. Never tried it. Not going to try it because I don't have rhinitis. They increase your energy. I mean, I think that probably most eggs increase your energy. They boost your metabolism. I don't know. I don't know if chicken eggs do or not. But they do boost your metabolism. In turn, makes you have more energy to get up and do things. One thing that I saw on quail eggs here is they're high in vitamin A, and they improve your vision. Maybe I need to eat more quail eggs. Anyway, that's kind of the deal there. So a chicken egg, what I found, has 70 calories. Quail egg has 14. Now, one thing about a chicken egg and a quail egg, and let me show you. I've got a chicken egg here. Chicken egg. And a quail egg. Now, let me see it down here. Now you see, you've got a significant size difference. So you've got a chicken egg and a quail egg. So for one chicken egg, it takes 4 quail eggs to equal a chicken egg. Okay? So you've got 70 calories in a chicken egg, and you've got 14 calories in a quail egg. Okay? You have 400 grams of cholesterol in your chicken egg. You have 76 grams in a quail egg. Now, like I said, the cholesterol is higher. The cholesterol is higher in the chicken egg, but the good cholesterol is higher in the quail egg. So they're in turn a little bit healthier for you. You can look up online just to kind of see what's what about it. I'm not going to continue to go on about that. But I want to show you what I've been doing with all of my eggs thus far. So I've been pickling a whole lot of eggs. Not everybody wants pickled eggs. I have gotten rid of a good many of these jars, so about 25 quail egg will fit in a pint jar. So I've been pickling a lot. Well, we don't eat a whole lot of pickled quail eggs, so I don't want to pickle hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them to sit on the shelf and do what with. So this is also what I do with my chicken eggs as well when I have excess chicken eggs. So this is a pint jar, and this is probably 25 or 30 eggs. I'm not going to open it up because it is vacuum sealed. This is eggs in my dehydrator. So when I have excess chicken eggs that we can't eat or I can't cook with or fix meals in the freezer or whatnot, I dehydrate my eggs to save them. And then I vacuum seal them. This jar supposedly, now I haven't tested it because I just started doing it maybe 2 years ago, but supposedly this jar of eggs will last 25 years in this jar. I'll check back in 25 years with you and let you know kind of how this works, but chances are I won't be here to test these eggs, or I'll eat them all rather. So if you want to rehydrate these eggs, you mix 1 part eggs and 2 parts either water or milk, and it rehydrates them, and then you can scramble them and eat them. You cannot use them in cakes and that kind of stuff because you've got yolks and you've got whites all mixed together, and I'm going to show you that in just a few minutes. And you can't ration them out, so you don't know how many eggs you've got in here. So that's my chicken eggs. So what I've been doing this morning is I have been cracking these eggs in here and putting them in here. So right now I've got probably, I'd say probably 50 eggs in here. So I'm just going to show you kind of how I've been cracking them. Just like a regular chicken egg. I'm going to put you down right there, I hope. And so I take the egg pointy side down, big side up, and just tap it on the side. You cannot tell where I've cracked it, but I know where I hit. And then you just pinch it open, and then it just pops out. So these eggs are very fragile, and so you can just kind of pinch the membrane and pop it out. So I'm going to do just a few here because I've already done some. Ooh, it pops. And I'm not going to do all these eggs because they won't all fit on the tray. So that's how I've been cracking them. And then once I crack them, then I'll take it, let me show you. Then I'll take it and I take my whisk. You can take beaters with a cake beater, whatever, and just break it up. Just to make sure all the yolks are broke up. Now I'm spotting a few little tiny shells in here. Rather than trying to pick them out, let me show you. I may not. There's one little tiny shell. You can see the dark. Maybe that might not be a shell. Anyway, if there are shells in here, once they go through the dehydration period, the shells all end up on the bottom of the tray and not stuck to your egg solution. So those are pretty well broken up, all the yolks. Just mix them really, really, really good. I keep seeing a shell showing its little face. So I take them over to the dehydrator, and I have a Magic Meal dehydrator. Nothing fancy, it's just whatever I found on sale at Amazon. And it holds, I think, 9 trays. I'm only gonna do the one. Let me go get my stand. All right. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this. My regular holder is not with me today, so I'm having to do it all like I'm propping things. So we've got these plastic. You can get silicone if you want, but the plastic actually came with this dehydrator. So you got your wire shelves here, the sturdy part. Then you got your plastic trays, and it's got a little lip around here so that your liquid will not pour off. Now, a note to the wise, your liquid will pour off. I'm just not that good that I can't not spill it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my solution, my eggs, and I'm just going to pour it on my tray until it's full. Maybe I can do it perfect this time. And the lip is supposed to keep it from pouring off. If you get it too thick, of course it's going to come over that lip. If I'm getting it too thick, I'm hard-headed. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so it's filling up that little crack right there, and it's going. And I didn't spill any. All right. So all of that scrambled eggs, and it's probably, like I said, that's probably 50 or so eggs. And all that's going to fill in. I'm just going to go to the edge, and then I'm just going to slide it in very, very carefully. Okay, I did good that time. And close it up and start. Now, it comes up 165 degrees. You do not want to cook these eggs. So we want to decrease this. Do not put them over 115 degrees because you don't want to cook your eggs. You're just dehydrating them. 10 hours, 14 hours. Okay, so 14 hours it will take to dehydrate that pan of scrambled eggs. Now, of course, you know me, I've prepared ahead. So I have, and let me just prop me back down right here because we're just going to work right here on this counter. Okay, so I've already dehydrated some. Looks like one big Cheez-It. Once they dehydrate, they will crack up. And I moved them this morning, so they've already cracked up. But this is your dehydrated eggs. This is what it looks like. It's a very thin little crisp. Now, we're not done. So, what we're going to do, let me get a jar. I'm gonna stick them in this little plastic container when I'm done. So I've got a coffee grinder, and I've already been grinding some this morning, so it's not clean. But I only grind my eggs, my dehydrated eggs, in this little coffee grinder. I don't know. I think we got it as a wedding gift, and we've never ground coffee. And so it's a pretty handy dandy little thing. It's just a little one. It's made by Procter Silex. I'm not sure if they even make them anymore because I've been married for a few years. So the top just comes off. It's got a single little blade in here. And so what I do is I take my dehydrated egg and I put it in my little grinder, fill it up, which doesn't take a whole lot. Put this back on, and it is already plugged up. And then just grind it until it's fine like you want it. The longer you do it, the finer it gets. Okay. We have dehydrated eggs powder, and I've already got some done in this jar, and we're going to hydrate these back. So I hadn't planned on doing this, but we're going to hydrate these things back, and we're going to see if we can scramble them. So we're looking at my little fry pan over here. We're looking at 1 part eggs. So I'm just going to dip it out of here. So I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of eggs, a little bit more because it was not quite a tablespoon. So we're going to do 1 tablespoon of eggs, and I'm just going to do water just because you would think I have a lot of milk. Right now I'm not milking. So 1 part eggs, 2 parts liquid. Okay, so this is going to rehydrate. I think I used a little extra water. Let me get a little bit more. A little bit more of that because I think I did a little too much water in it. Okay, so they're rehydrating. We're going to give it just a few seconds to rehydrate. And then we're gonna fix our pan. Put a little bit of Pam in it. Vegetable oil, whatever. We use the cheap stuff when we can. All right, so this is hydrating back very, very well. Like I said, you can make omelets with it, scrambled eggs, anything that you don't have to measure the eggs for. Use just a little bit more of this, just to kind of soak up that water just a little bit. All right, let me heat my stove up. I'll turn you around. This gets tricky when I don't have any help. Okay, my stove is getting hot. Pan's getting hot. My eggs are rehydrated. It doesn't take but just a few seconds or a minute or so to rehydrate your eggs. Show you kind of what's going on here. Like I say, I've done this off the camera, but this wasn't planned. So you see my eggs, they're starting to cook. Turn that up a little bit. And they taste just like eggs. Quail eggs and chicken eggs taste exactly the same. An egg is an egg, basically. Of course, my yolks on my eggs, on the quail eggs, are not orange like my chicken eggs are. And I think I've educated you on that before. So the pale yellow means that they don't get any beta carotene, which is grass, green stuff. Beta carotene is found in your grass and your weeds and your bugs and that kind of stuff. Now, if I would have used milk, it probably would be a little fluffier. It would stick, even though I used my vegetable oil. One important thing is, if you're not going to eat it, then don't do it. So, like I said with the pickled eggs, you know, if you're not going to eat a whole bunch of pickled eggs, don't pickle eggs, because you don't want them to sit on the shelf and not use them. You want them to be able to work for you. And preserving something and never using it, well, that's just a waste. So, okay. So, watery eggs. Eggs dehydrated with water is not quite as fluffy as with milk, but that's okay. A little bit of salt would probably do good on this, but I'm just going to eat it. They're hot. Imagine that. Tastes just like an egg. Imagine that. That's good. That's really good. Good and filling. So we just dehydrated that. So I had it in the dehydrator yesterday. So I just dehydrated these yesterday and rehydrated them back today and eating them. They're still fresh. It tastes great. I'm gonna finish eating these. Okay. I'm gonna eat that whole pan. So I got a few eggs left. A few egg mixture left here. I'm gonna go ahead and see my shells. I told you I saw a few shells in there. So the shells all go to the bottom. I'm gonna put this in the pan and rehydrate those, or dehydrate those rather. And I wanted to show you my little baby, our newest one. Just walk through here and see where she is. Oh, here she is. So this little baby is 6 weeks old. Yes, I know. So I was driving down the road a week ago and saw this little tiny thing sitting beside the road trying to get across a 4-lane highway. And so I skidded on brakes and stopped and picked her up. And we've had her to the vet. And yes, darling, I know. We've had her to the vet, and she's on some medicine right now for upper respiratory infection, but she's on the downslide of it. We finish up medicines in 4 days, and she's doing really good. She's finding her personality. She had ear mites, terrible, and she was covered with fleas and upper respiratory infection, turning into pneumonia, and just a sick little baby. So we've nursed her back to health, and she is now number 16 on our place. Not 16 in our house, but 16 on our place. She and one other kitty is the only ones that's in our house full time. And oh, bless you. Anyway, she is just precious, so I wanted to show her off. This is Oakley. Say hi, Oakley. Yes. Anyway, all right, so I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned something. And like I said, my channel now is Fur and Feathers Homestead, not Fur and Feathers Farm. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see y'all next time. Thanks.